Why did warriors in ancient battles rarely kill enemy horses? In ancient Asia, warfare was brutal and relentless, with countless battles fought under the leadership of skilled generals. These conflicts, often depicted in films, vividly portray the chaos and heroism of armies fighting for their kingdoms. A striking aspect of these depictions is the valor of cavalry units, fiercely charging into battle for their rulers and lands. However, a curious question arises. Why did warriors seldom target the enemy's horses, despite their crucial role in combat? The strategic and symbolic role of horses were not just means of transportation in ancient battles, they were integral to the military strategy and prestige of an army. They provided speed, mobility, and the psychological advantage of a towering presence on the battlefield. In many ways, a cavalry unit's effectiveness depended as much on the horse as on the rider. The loss of a horse could severely compromise a soldier's effectiveness. Yet historical accounts suggest that warriors rarely aimed to kill enemy horses. This phenomenon is not just a matter of battlefield pragmatism, but also reflects deeper cultural and strategic considerations. 1. The difficulty of targeting horses. One of the primary reasons for not targeting horses was the practical challenge of hitting them. War horses, especially those used by knights and nobles, often wore protective armor, making them difficult to wound fatally. Armor for horses, known as barding, included elements like chanfron to protect the face, crinasse for the neck, and pétrels for the chest. These defenses could deflect arrows and other projectiles, significantly reducing the chances of a successful hit. Moreover, the dynamic nature of battle made it challenging to target horses. The chaos and movement in a skirmish meant that a horse's body was constantly in motion, making precise aiming difficult. Archers and crossbowmen often focused on the more significant and immediate threat, the enemy soldiers. The general rule of thumb was to neutralize the combatant rather than the steed. 2. The resilience of war horses. War horses were specifically bred and trained for combat. These animals were not only strong, but also highly resilient. A well-trained warhorse could withstand significant injury and continue to function, a testament to their vital role in battles. The anatomy of a horse, with its powerful muscles and dense bones, meant that even a well-placed arrow or spear might not bring them down instantly. Horses have a remarkable pain tolerance and survival instinct, which often allowed them to survive injuries that would incapacitate a human soldier. Furthermore, horses were trained to be unyielding in the face of danger. They were desensitized to the sounds and chaos of battle, ensuring they would not panic and throw their riders. This psychological conditioning was as crucial as their physical strength. A war horse that remained steady in the face of danger provided a significant tactical advantage, as a soldier could maintain their position and composure. 3. The high value of war horses. Beyond their practical uses, war horses were incredibly valuable assets. In many cultures, horses were symbols of wealth and status. They were expensive to breed, train, and maintain, often costing as much as or more than a soldier's entire equipment. The loss of a war horse represented a significant financial and logistical blow to an army. Capturing an enemy's horse, rather than killing it, was often more advantageous, as it deprived the enemy of a valuable asset while simultaneously augmenting the victor's resources. In some cases, horses were considered so valuable that they were treated as non-combatants, similar to civilians in the sense that their lives were spared whenever possible. This was not only a matter of practicality, but also a reflection of the high regard in which horses were held. In many cultures, the horse was seen as a noble creature, and killing one unnecessarily could be considered an act of barbarism. Cultural and ethical considerations. Cultural beliefs and ethical considerations also played a role in the reluctance to kill horses. In many ancient societies, animals, especially horses, were respected and sometimes revered. In some cases, horses were seen as sacred animals with symbolic significance. For example, in ancient China, horses were often associated with dragons and were considered celestial creatures. Similarly, in other cultures, horses were symbols of power, freedom, and nobility. The ethics of war also played a role. The principle of chivalry, which governed the conduct of knights and soldiers, included an unwritten code of honor that extended to the treatment of animals. Deliberately targeting an opponent's horse was often seen as an unchivalrous act, akin to attacking a non-combatant. The rules of engagement in many societies dictated that combat should be conducted between equals, and killing an animal that could not defend itself was considered cowardly and dishonorable. Historical anecdotes and records. Historical records and anecdotes provide fascinating insights into the treatment of horses in warfare. For instance, during the Crusades, European knights were known to value their horses so highly that they would rather ransom them back from the enemy than let them be killed. Similarly, in the Mongol Empire, horses were considered so essential that entire strategies were developed around their preservation and use. In Japan during the Sengoku period, samurai warriors often wore horse armor, umayoroi, and treated their horses with the utmost care. The relationship between a samurai and his horse was almost sacred, with the animal being seen as an extension of the warrior's honor and spirit. This respect for horses transcended the battlefield, influencing everything from the warrior's conduct to their daily life. In conclusion, the reluctance to kill horses in ancient battles was influenced by a complex interplay of practical, cultural, and ethical factors. The difficulty of targeting and killing a well-armored war horse, combined with the animal's resilience and high value, made it a less appealing target. Cultural beliefs and ethical considerations further discouraged the deliberate killing of horses, reflecting the deep respect and reverence for these noble creatures. The preservation of horses in warfare highlights the multifaceted nature of ancient combat, where practical considerations often intertwine with cultural values and ethical norms. Understanding these factors provides a deeper insight into the conduct of warfare in ancient times and the unique relationship between humans and animals in the context of battle.